Hey there, boys and girls. Today we'll be doing the CG Laswell bonus stage boss rush. It's quite a mouthful. Scoped out a Bartz friend down here. I figured since we're taking Bartz, we would make like the Final Fantasy V theme complete. We're taking Galoof and Lena and Bartz. Really fun. I really like Final Fantasy V. We've got Lid as our breaker for this one. Nothing too crazy as far as your gear goes. Really, the only boss that's actually going to hurt you probably is going to be the dinosaur, the first boss. He's got an AoE magic attack that we're not going to be covering. So just make sure you've got enough hit points and spirit to survive that. I've got 8,000 hit points, 700 spirit here, so nothing too crazy. Galoof's going to be our cover tank for this. He's passive provoking. I didn't opt for full evade. I just went with the man tanking for this. We're taking Nicole pretty much here to summon some espers. He's got the aura staff on. Nicole inherently has in his magic kit ice. That's a recurring theme with the mission parameters. Lena's going to be our healer. Really, you know, we don't particularly need a healer, but we might as well bring Lena along, right? Bartz is going to be our damage unit for this one. I put a wind weapon on my Bartz. You know, just high attack. Nothing really crazy with his gear there. And always, when you're taking a Bartz friend, it doesn't matter to me if my Bartz friends equip a wind weapon, but I always check it out because how you do Bartz's rotation can be affected by that. Let's give it a go. I enjoyed Laswell's story event a lot. I thought it was pretty good. For the first mission, we need to use Limit Burst, deal ice damage, and defeat the boss with the Limit Burst. Oh, another thing I should probably mention about this, magic damage does not do very well here. That was kind of like a problem that I was having when I was trying to comp this team out. Like, normally I would take Elena, Fravia, etc. Because these bosses have such high magic resistance, you know, those units wasn't very practical. The last boss needs to be killed without a limit burst, so that kind of took Rain and Hio off the table for me. That's how I arrived at Bartz for this team. He's like the only damage dealer I have that's not reliant on being a hybrid or limit burst. So the Brachiosaur, he buffs his attack and magic preemptively, so we got to handle that. Nicole has dual cast and 8 in his kit, so we'll dispel that. And let's see here, we'll use Ice. Get that out of the way. We'll come down here and get Galoof's cover with mitigation and Lid. We'll use Super Analysis to break the boss. Lena will just give us some status immunity. No, actually, she's not. One thing I want to do here, because we have to get Galoof's Limit Burst off, Warrior Light would actually be easier for this. We're going to use Pure Healing. That's going to fill the LB gauge and pretty much give us High Tide, which is just going to help us out quite a bit. And we're going to power up Bartz. I'm not going to take Bartz like all the way powered up for this, but I am going to power him up a little bit. If your Bartz has a little bit, you know, less gear, power the Bartz all the way up. It's no problem. Just for the sake of time, we're going to do like the minimal amount of powering that we need to do here. So there was your AoE magic. It looks like I've got magic effects turned off. Turn those back on. That's no fun. I don't know how that happened. With Nicole, we're going to get his cooldown buffs out of the way. Pretty much for the Esper Orb generation. With Lid, something really handy that she can do. We're going to do the Spec Guard to entrust Galoof. And then with Lena, we'll do a heal and a delayed heal. We'll just defend Galoof. His job's here is done. We'll power up Bartz to level 3. Really, with this boss, this is the one boss you don't want to mess around with. I don't know exactly what his thresholds are, but once he gets pretty low, he puts up like immunity and he can snort your tank. Really, really annoying, so I'm erring on the side of caution and powering up Bartz just a little bit more than I normally would. Okay, we got into level 3. We'll do his cooldown. Since both Bartz have wind weapons, we'll do Dancer Sword Dance. And if you're taking a friend Bartz that doesn't have a wind weapon on, make sure you get him to imbue. We'll chain that off. Pretty decent damage there. With Nicole, it's really a free turn for him. Like, you've got some options here. Like, if you don't know if you're going to get your LBs filled or whatnot, you can have him do his LB fill thing. We're going to entrust Lid to go ahead and get her big break out of the way. And that's what I'm going to do with Nicole. Like, if Lid's Limit Burst naturally fills, you wouldn't have to do that. Alright, there's some really, really weak attacks, so you can see on Galoof. There's some AoE magic that we can't cover. Alrighty, now we're going to come down here with our Bartz. So we're going to get this dual spell blade. I know that's typically his setup move to his good burst, but in this case, this is like all the damage that we're going to need. Same thing with Nicole again. We'll just do a little LB fill. Help it out. We'll defend. Actually, we'll top everybody out. Points. And a heal. We'll defend lid. Your timing on this, Galoo's limit burst kind of does take a little while to go off, so we'll go ahead and chain to Bartz. Then we'll send Galoof off. And he'll hit into the overkill. We've got our Esper gauge ready for the next boss. Nice and easy. If you don't power up Bartz like that far, at least that far, I don't know if he can get the kill with just his regular chaining ability. That's why I took him up just a couple notches. Let's see here. For the next stage, we need to do wind damage 2 times or more, evoke an Esper, and defeat the boss with limit burst. Want to run out of energy. This guy's got a preemptive attack where like he just like punches your tank one time. Nothing really major. Oh, Galoof evaded it with his 10% evasion. What a boss. Same thing with Lena. We're going to do pure healing to get the LB gauge. First, we're going to break with lid. There we go. We'll fill this LB gauge up. Nicole, you know, he can do an Esper right here. It really doesn't matter when you get that out of the way as long as you get it done. Galoof will do his cooldown cover. We'll power up Bartz one time. I like my Final Fantasy V units. Alrighty, with Lena, let's do a heal and a heal over time. We'll get Nicole to fill that Esper gauge up a little bit with his cooldowns. And we'll go ahead and put some damage in with Bartz right here. I think we should be pretty fine. Like I said, that first boss is really the toughest one. We'll use the Latent and Dancer Sword Dance. And always, you know, kind of double check your Bartz friends. Make sure they've got their latents and everything enhanced so they can do the right amount of damage. We'll chain a little bit here. You see we got a lot of damage in. Galoof's limit burst ready. Lid's limit burst is ready. So let's check that. Yeah, she's good. We can just defend these two. He's gonna heal up a little bit. Nothing too major. He buffs his attack and magic. So like I said, if you don't get a kill this turn, just be mindful of that. And let's get Dancer Sword Dance. Dancer Sword Dance. Let's get Galoof's limit burst ready. We'll just defend with everybody else. Boss has still got brakes on. Send our Bartz off. Send Galoof off. Got a cool limit burst animation. I like it. We're in good shape with our Esper orbs. Only need one more to fill up. Excellent. Now, on this boss right here, you know, you might have to reset your app once or twice. I've noticed some variance in the like, you know, the damage and, you know, the Bartz friends that I took and stuff like that. So just kind of be mindful of that going into this. I have actually done too much damage on turn 2. We need the ice and wind damage, no limit burst, defeat him with an Esper. I think I'll double check my Bartz's gear, my friend Bartz's gear. We should be good to go for a turn 2 kill on this guy. Or you could just power up Bartz, you know, a couple of times and then he'll for sure get the kill. Alright, remember no limit burst, so don't use Lid's limit burst here. We'll do analysis. Get Galoof to do his cooldown cover. We'll get Nicole to go ahead and fill up the Esper gauge, give us the stat buffs. Get Lena to do her delayed stuff. Power up Bartz. We'll just do one time. Check out this Bartz friend. What you got here? Oh yeah, he's got Human Slayer on his weapon, so I'm definitely sure he'll get a kill on turn 2. Roundhouse kick. I'd like to see this big ass ogre looking dude do a roundhouse kick. Be awesome. Alright, remember one of your missions is to do ice damage, to get that out of the way with Nicole. We're going to get Bahamut ready. Go ahead and defend these two. And with Bartz, we'll use our Latent and Dancer Sword Dance. If at all possible, try to find a Bartz friend that's got a wind weapon on. Now, the easiest way I can tell you guys how to chain this off and get your Esper kill almost 9 times out of 10 is just, if you're using Bahamut, send him at the same time that you send your other chainers, and it should line up just fine for you. An alternative is to use Diablos. I picked to use Diablos on my damage dealers just so they had the extra human killer, so we get this guy out of the way. However you want to set that up is perfectly fine. Oh yeah. There's your Esper kill. If you let your chainers go and then send Bahamut, a lot of times it's failed for me. I think it's always easy to send it at the same time. There we go, all missions. Nice and easy. It's pretty cool to take Bartz out. I don't get to use Bartz a lot. You know, I like using King Rain. I love Bartz as a unit, though. He's like my backup playing guy. He's always got great defensive stats. You know, he's got lots of damage. It just takes a little bit to get him going. So, there's your boss stage. In a nutshell, not too bad. I'd say all you boys with Noctis is really doing a lot of damage on this trial. But if you're like me and you don't have Noctis, there's an easy way to do it, you know, with Bartz. Hope you guys liked the video. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Toodaloo.